Hey guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through 3 beginner use cases in n8n that will help you get used to the platform, but at the same time already be a helpful tool and show you actual real-world examples. The very first workflow that I'm going to show you how to build is this pretty simple RSS feed trigger to X post workflow that will help you automate your X. The first thing that we're going to have to do is add an RSS feed trigger. For that, simply go up here on the plus and then search for RSS feed trigger. There it is, add that, then double click on it and just set this to whatever you like. I'm setting this to every day. This just tells the trigger when to trigger. So I have this at every day. You can do every minute, every hour. Then set a time, of course. Be careful here. You might have to change your settings, your workflow settings. These are by default set to American time zone. I've already changed them to Berlin because I live in Germany. Change that to whatever time zone you're in so that the alert actually aligns with the time that you set in here. The next thing that we're going to have to do is actually create the RSS feed trigger. So for that, go to Google Alerts and click on Create an Alert for into the search bar, and then add, let's just say, an alert for video games. This just really depends on what topic you would like to use. Click on Show Options, and then in here you can customize quite a bit. I'm just going to say whenever there's news. Then also leave this as automatic, use English language, of course. And I don't really care about the region. I'm going to go for all topics, but you can also only output the most relevant ones. And then, very important, send to RSS feed. Leave it like that and click Create Alert. Now that we have created the alert, we of course are going to need to fetch the Google Alert URL that we can put into n8n. For that, simply right click on this little Wi-Fi symbol and click copy link address. Then go back here into your RSS feed trigger and paste that's what you just copied in here. Now we can already click fetch test event, and you can see it has outputted the very first test event. It has outputted a link and the content. This is not really readable for us, but the AI will know how to deal with it. The next thing that we're going to have to add now is an OpenAI node. Just click on add, search for OpenAI, and then you will have to go for message a model and then simply configure this as I did. So select your OpenAI account, select text, message a model, and then select the model that you like to use. I like to use GPT-4 Mini. It's cheap and it still does a pretty good job with writing, but you can use whatever you want. And now let's just add the prompt for the AI very quickly. This is where you can customize the hell out of this workflow, of course. You can, for example, add example posts that you have written so that the AI adapts to your language, to your style of writing. And of course, you could also tell it to only focus on specific topics, to use hashtags or whatever. I'm just for the sake of showing you, I will use a very simple prompt. So you will be given news from the RSS feed. Take these news and write an engaging short post for X. It should use simple natural language. Now add another one, or we should actually set this one to system, and then just click add another one. So add message and then select user. And in here we can just click title and then simply drag and drop the title in here. Then we can go for link or content snippet. I'm gonna just do content snippet. Of course, you could also give it the link and then tell it to search that link for further information. But I'm just gonna go with the content snippet and then also tell it content snippet like that. And we can now click on test step. And you should now see this right here, what it has outputted. So content, exciting times ahead in digital media. And this is like the X post that we could use. Of course, this is not a good X post by any means. You have to customize this tool until it fits what you like, until it fits your style of writing. And then this will do a pretty good job. We might also have to set this to send output as JSON. Exactly. And now we can go here, add an X node, click on add X, formerly Twitter, and then send a message or create tweet. Then you just go right on this, double click on it, and select your X account, select tweet, select create, and for text, we will simply put post. And now you can test step and it will upload the post to your X account. I'm not going to do this right now because my X account is connected and obviously this post is not very good. But this was the first workflow that we have built. This is the easiest one. It is the first one that I've created once I started with n8n, and it can really help you, especially in the beginning, to really experiment with what n8n can do for you. It's just a very quick reminder, do not forget to set all of your workflows to active so that they will actually work. Otherwise, they're just inactive and they're not going to do anything. So you need to set them to active. Now that that's done, we can get into our second workflow, which will already be much more helpful, and it will simply be a Telegram to Google Calendar event workflow. So we can simply ask an AI agent that we have created to put an event into our Google Calendar so that we're not going to have to do it ourselves, and we will even receive a respond message. The first thing that we're going to have to do for that is create a new bot on Telegram, and then from that bot get the token for it. You will simply have to go to the bot father on Telegram and then create a new bot. So type /new bot and then copy the token that you get from there, then create your Telegram credential. Now that that's done, we can get into our second workflow, which is already going to be much more advanced and much more helpful. It is a Telegram to Google Calendar workflow. So what this does basically is it takes a calendar message that I write to a bot, and it can then use that message to add the event that I asked it to add into my Google Calendar. So what we're going to have to do for that first is create a new bot on Telegram and then get the token for that bot and create our Telegram credential in n8n. There are multiple videos on that. Just go search them up if you need to. It's really one of the easiest credential connections that you can do in n8n. Then we have to add a Telegram trigger. So go here, click trigger, or no, we're going to have to search for Telegram, then click Telegram and click not actions, but rather trigger, and then use on message. Put that trigger here and set this to your calendar credential. Leave this as message. That should do just fine. Then we're going to have to add a date and time node. So simply go here, search for date and time, and add the node here. This is simply so that our agent knows in what year we are and what current time we have, because otherwise it might just put your event somewhere in 2023 because the AI is somehow stuck in the past. How to configure this date and time node is also pretty easy. So just simply click get current time for operation, include, or get current date, include current time, and then you can call this whatever you like. There just cannot be a space in here. And that's already the first part of our agent done. We will next have to add an agent. So for that, simply click on add advanced AI and then AI agent. And then we're going to add a open AI chat node as the chat model that it should use. We're going to add buffer memory for the memory that it uses. You can leave all of this in here just as is. So 5 context window length. We're going to have to add a JSON message in here. So we're going to have to map the Telegram message that we get from here. Once we've tested the tool, you can map that in here. And also for the OpenAI chat node, you simply connect your OpenAI account and then select the appropriate OpenAI model that you want to use. Next up, we're going to have to add a tool, which is going to be a Google Calendar Create Event tool. Again, click here, search for Google Calendar, click Create Event. Then you're going to have to connect your Google Calendar account over your Google Cloud Console. Click Tool Description Set Automatically. Event is a resource. Operation, of course, create. Select your email that you want to connect the tool to. And then for the function, this is actually the pretty interesting part about AI agents in n8n. There's this function called from AI that will allow the agent to define the input itself, which is exactly what we're going to use here. So simply type these two brackets, and then you should already be able to find the function from AI. Then open a bracket. Then what you're going to have to do is give the variable a name. That really doesn't matter what you call it. Again, there cannot be a space in here. I just called it start time. Then close parentheses, add a comma, and then add a short description. So I told it time when the event should start. Then close the brackets again, and here you have it. Of course, you need to set this to expression and not to fixed. Otherwise, it would just use $now, which is absolutely not what we want. You can now actually see me do it because I just deleted it. So let me just quickly show you. We're going to go here, then from AI, just scroll down a bit here, click from AI. First of all, open parentheses, call it start time, close parentheses, comma, space, then that, and add time to start events at, close parentheses, and that's already that function. For the end, we're going to do the same, just with end time, and then use default reminders. I just left that as on. And for summary, this is actually what you're going to have to add so that your event has a name. Click add field, and then search for summary here. Click on that, and then again, we're going to use a from AI function because we want the agent to be able to give the name to the event based on our prompt. So we're going to do from AI, call this, I just called it event title, and then a proper title for this calendar event. That's the whole setup. That's basically all of it done. Now we just need to give the agent a prompt. So for that, we're going to go onto the agent and now select tools agent, select define below right here. You could also go connect the J trigger node, but we don't have one. So we're going to select define below, and then you will have to give it a prompt. So I told it, put the following appointment into my calendar, and then you will have to map the Telegram variable that you get up here if you've tested it. So you first have to test the tool, and then go in here and map that one right in here. So put the following appointment into my calendar, then map the one that you get from Telegram, and then this is the current day time, and map the one from the time function, which will allow the tool to get the current time. And all of that, you can leave that, and that's already done. This way, it always has your prompt, it always has the event that you want to put in and the current time, which you can then use, and it will at the end, if you want that, only if you want that, you can also add a send message Telegram node. So again, click here, Telegram, and then configure the node as that. So from your Google Calendar bot, that's what it's called in my case, click message, send message, and then for the chat ID, you will have to get the chat ID that your Telegram, the very first Telegram node outputs, put that in here, and then for text, select the JSON output from the agent. Set this to none, and that's already the second workflow. There's not much more to it. You can again customize the hell out of this workflow. I've built one that will allow you to trigger the agent with a voice message on Telegram. There are unlimited things that you can do with this. You could add a send email node. You could basically make this agent for your entire Google services, every single service, and yeah, just automate the hell out of your life. This is just a very simple example. This is the basic setup, and you can do a lot of shiny things with this. So guys, for our very last workflow, I've chosen one that I actually use myself in my everyday life. This basically just takes every new email that gets sent to your Gmail inbox, classifies that, and gives it a label. You need to create these labels first on your Gmail account. So go to your Gmail. This works only on PC. Go to your Gmail account. Let me just quickly log in. Go to Gmail, and then you will have to click add labels down here. So let me just quickly show you. You can have labels here and then click add and basically create a label. And here you can see, give it a name, and this you don't have to care about, just give it a real name. You can also give colors to that. And here you can see what it does. So basically every new message I receive, which are only these two right now, but it will give it a label, and thus if you have like hundreds of messages in here or already over 50 messages, you can simply click on this label and only get the ones that you have to care about for your business. So this helps a lot. This can also be very helpful for everyone out there who has a business or just receives many emails in general. And how you're going to build that is pretty simple. So the very first thing that we're going to have to add is a Gmail trigger. Go on this plus here, select Gmail, and then this is how we're going to configure it. So select your Gmail account. I've set this to every minute, so this checks if I got a new message every single minute. You can also set this to all the other times, but it doesn't really matter. I like to do every minute just so the messages get classified very quickly. The next thing that we're going to have to do is set event to message received. Click on simplify, and for read status, unread emails only, because it happened before when I built this tool first that it classified every single email in my inbox, and it classified them multiple times and over again, and that just gets annoying. So select unread messages only. I'm going to show you how we can mark the messages as read so that this tool does not take them in and does not classify them again. But that's at the end of the very workflow. What we're going to have to add first is, again, click on plus and then advanced AI. This time we're not going to select the agent, but instead the text classifier. Then go into this text classifier and map your JSON snippet that you get from the OpenAI node, from the Gmail node. Then for this part, we're simply going to add all of our names from our labels. So I told it, first of all, agency, this is where you're going to have to add your label name. So I added agency, and then right here, you just give it a very short description of the agency node. So I told it, classify emails related to professional communication with clients or business partners. This includes meeting invitations, scheduling discussions, client inquiries, and any questions from or about business partners. Focus only on business related content and exclude personal or educational topics. We can also use this with OpenAI, so simply tell ChatGPT to give you a good expression here that you can put here, and that will allow the tool to be very precise. This, as every time you use AI, really lives and dies with a good prompt. So the better your prompting is, the more consistent the AI is going to be. Simply add all of your labels here, add good descriptions for them. I also added a label other that will simply put everything that hasn't fitted into one of the first ones, which I really like to do. You don't have to do it. And now the last thing that we're going to have to do is add options here, and then a system prompt template. So click on add option and select system prompt template. And then please classify the text provided by the user into one of the following categories. Then put categories in brackets, comma, and use the provided formatting instructions below. Don't explain and only output the JSON. I got this from the tutorial I built this tool from. And yeah, just put this text as is. It doesn't work without it. I don't know why, but that's just how n8n works these days. Sometimes there are things that you cannot explain. Just put this exact text in here. and it should work. Then for all of these different pluses that are going to appear here, you will simply add a Gmail node, connect your Gmail account, resource message, and then for operation, select add label. Then you can again, for the message ID, use the message ID that you get from the, I think, Gmail node. Maybe it is from the agent node, but it should be from the Gmail node. Just map that in here so that it knows which message to give the label to, and then select the name of your agency, that select the agency label or whatever label you want to use here. Select that one and do that for every single label that you want to add. You can do this with 10 labels, with 20 labels. You can also only do 2 labels. This is just really a question of how many different messages you receive. And yeah, that it works absolutely perfectly. And of course, the more messages you receive, the more time it will save you. And I think this tool is just very helpful in general. The last thing that we're going to have to add, and this is what I told you in the beginning, it will only not classify emails multiple times. This is the only way that I found to do that. So simply go in here and set this to unread emails only. So go add filter, select read status, and go to unread emails only. And then you're going to select a Gmail node that you're going to connect all of the previous nodes to. Select your Gmail account message and then mark as read. This way, anytime a new message gets sent to your account, this node will take it, the classifier will classify it, it will get added a label to, and then this node will simply mark it as read in your inbox so that this node will no longer think that that is a new message and classifies it again. This is the best way I found. And yeah, again, just for message ID, map the one that you get from your Gmail node. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe to this channel to support my content. And of course, also, if you have any questions, just ask them down below in the comments. I hope to see you in the next video for more helpful n8n tutorials. Bye.